In a recent interview with Variety, Melissa Barrera, who was not invited to return to the Scream franchise after her social media comments on the war in Gaza, expressed deep skepticism regarding the commercial success of Scream 7, explicitly accusing Paramount and Spyglass of falsifying the film's record-breaking financial data. Now, despite reports that the sequel grossed over $207 million worldwide, which makes it the highest grossing installment of the entire franchise, Barrera claimed that she does not believe the official figures are accurate. Beyond questioning the film's profitability, Barrera leveled harsh criticisms at the cast members who chose to return to the film's production in her absence. When asked if those who signed on for Scream 7 seemed scabby for effectively crossing the line, she agreed 100%, stating that those actors will now have to live with that decision.
And the money they made.
And all the money they made to pay their bills. All right. Look, let me be clear about one thing first. I love Barrera. I think she's terrific. Those two Scream films she starred in are two of my favorites. I mean, I hadn't liked a Scream film since the original one until the ones that her and Jenna Ortega were in. I really like them. And by the way, she is magnificent in The Heights. She's incredible in The Heights. Also, loved her in Abigail. Loved her. And I've only caught a couple of episodes. I'm just started recently to get caught up on it, but that new one she's doing with Simu Liu from Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
I'm freezing on the name of it.
Yeah, it's got a weird name.
Anyway, she's really good in that too.
Yeah.
I think she's a terrific performer. I am a fan, and I look forward to watching all the stuff. Copenhagen. Thank you, Joseph, in the live chat. Copenhagen. I look forward to watching her live performances moving forward. Can't wait to see more of her. That being said, while I am a fan, that doesn't mean I can't criticize certain things she says and does. Now, look, I would obviously not hold it against her being still angry about the fact that she wasn't invited back for season 7. I mean, you have a right to have an opinion about anything and to say anything. But that also means other people have the right to not want to be associated with you, right? I mean, it goes both ways. And, you know, she had a certain point of view of something, totally fair. But the people who made the Scream movies don't want to be associated with that. Totally fair. So whatever, I take no sides in that. So I don't hold it against her that she's angry about how that all went down. She has every right to feel that way. However, when you cross a precipice of now sounding like a whiny child, when you start flailing and lashing out at everything else around you, for example, she's in this business. She knows better. Paramount does not report the box office numbers for their movie. That's not how it works. A third-party independent organization called Rentrack, they are the ones who gather the global box office information and put out the actual financial reports. It does not come from Spyglass. It does not come from Paramount. And she's been in this business long enough to know better. This whole thing about narco, you know what? I don't even believe their box office numbers. Well, now you just sound like a whiny little baby when you do that. And I'm a fan. Don't get me, I am a fan of hers. But that type of whining is not attractive. It's not appealing. And so that's number one, like starting to just lash out saying things like, I don't even believe their box. Listen, I hate Scream 7. Okay. You guys know how much I hate that movie. I call it one of the 3 worst Hollywood wide release produced films in history. It's that awful. I think it is garbage beyond garbage. But when I saw it, the theater was packed. It was absolutely packed. It shouldn't have been packed. I don't know why we were all there, because that movie sucks. but it was packed nonetheless.
I don't know why we were all there.
So to come out and start saying, I don't even believe their box office numbers. Well, then you either sound stupid because you've been around the business long enough that you should know better about how it works, and you sound like you're just whining. The second thing is then deciding to lash out at her co-stars in the movie. Listen, this is a business. This is people's jobs. Not everybody gets offered Abigail. Not everybody gets offered to star in their own show with Simu Liu. Most actors in this business, 97% of the actors in this business, are dreaming and looking forward to just getting whatever their next role is. And in any kind of environment like that, you and your employer may have issues. That's nobody else's business. That's nobody else's business. So while you want to whine and cry and complain about how dare they continue to work and earn a living, well, what were they supposed to do? Like, I didn't hear any of them take the studios. I didn't hear any of them go public and start talking about what an idiot you are. They just like, hey, this is none of our business. This is between you and the producers. Has nothing to do with them. So I just think it's totally understandable for somebody like her in the position that she's in to feel angry and feel resentment about the overall situation. I get that. I don't hold that against anybody. But to come out and start taking wild make-believe conspiracy theory shots at, they falsified the box office. No, they didn't, because they're not the ones who give the box office data. And then taking shots, calling your fellow actors scabs because they had the audacity of not sacrificing their own careers to, what, stand in solidarity with you over your own issue?
While you get other jobs?
While you continue to get other jobs?
This is it.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, it's just like, look, in a way, she was kind of walked into it by the journalist, just from what I read, but she's also an adult and she understands the industry, like you said. So she should have been able to have guardrails there. But to say, oh, do you feel like they crossed the line, like as if it's a picket line? This isn't the union of Melissa Barrera. They didn't sign up to only work on movies that she approves, or to, if she doesn't want to be a part of it, they have to be like remove themselves as well. You're not a union unto yourself. So you made a decision. It was a personal decision. They all respected your decision. No one came out and said, Melissa is wrong for this. Melissa's ruining our franchise and our livelihood. No one said that. They supported her. And then they went about their business.
Yeah. Again, listen, and let me restate again. I'm a big fan of hers. I love her work, and I'm excited to see her in more stuff. I just think, again, she's old enough. She's experienced enough. She's been in this business long enough that she should have known better, or somebody should have told her these are some stupid ass things to say. And I say this as the world's biggest hater of Scream 7. I dare you to try to find somebody who hates that movie more than I do. Anyway, Rob, listen, it's a precarious position. Being in this business also means you got to watch what you say, because the things you say get around to everybody. I don't know. What's your takeaway from this?
Well, I think that her position about her fellow cast members and things was kind of odd. I mean, I can understand being sore, losing out on a role for whatever reason. But, you know, I think we kind of live in an age of unreason, where people are very quick to, they want to project a certain kind of, I don't know, a loyalty or a fealty or an understanding on social media. They want to be perceived as doing the right thing in ways, shapes, or forms. And I completely sympathize with that. But I think in her case, like you pointed out, Paramount doesn't gin up numbers. You know, and so for her to come out and say that leads me to then that not understanding that, which is something you can see on any box office report, you know, comes from Rent Track or whatever. It says right there. That makes me think that the rest of your opinions are just as ill-conceived. And I would think what it's important to do, and I wish everybody would do this, is if you decide that you believe in something, it's important to delve into those beliefs and find out if you are correct or incorrect by doing a little bit of examination and detective work. Like the whole thing with the box office is a perfect example. That's 5 minutes. That's a cursory Google search. It always kills me about how few people will type anything. They'll just look at something on TikTok and believe it. And I'm like,
Yeah, read
well,
a headline. That's it.
you know, that's it. Read and try and find alternative points of view and find out a median in the middle. And that thing, and then why go after, look, it's hard enough to get a job in Hollywood. And to go after your fellow actors for working, you can't do that. I mean, it's hard enough. And if you're part of the Scream franchise, more power to people that get jobs. I mean, you know, Sydney was not in your last movie. How do you think she felt?
Yeah, and it's her. Yeah, I did. I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't hear anybody, including Barrera, stand up and say, "Hey, Sydney, why am I freezing on the name of the actress who plays Sydney? We're all freezing on it.
You literally just said it. Oh my gosh. Well,
Anyway,
Somebody in the chat.
yeah, somebody in the chat will throw it in.
Campbell.
Neve Campbell.
we literally just
I
said it.
Like I didn't hear when
I
it
was thinking
came around that
Prescott?
Neve Campbell wasn't going to come back because they were shortchanging her
Yeah.
for how much they were willing to pay her as the main star of the
Now
franchise.
that's something
I
to
didn't
stand
hear-
on ceremony
Yeah,
with.
I didn't hear Barrera come out and defend and stand up for Neve Campbell and say, "Hey, wait a minute, we're not going to do this movie without Neve Campbell because this is her franchise. You should pay her what she's owed." I didn't see her do that. And by the way, one other thing about the box office reporting, Paramount is a publicly traded company. That means you put out, again, remember, it has nothing to do with Paramount. That's Rent-Track. But even if it did have something to do with Paramount, even if it did, which it doesn't, as a publicly traded company, there are massive consequences for publishing false public financial information. Massive consequences. So again, it's just a kind of a ridiculous.
Well, it's also, you know, this performance activism is if you got to make sure you're consistent in what you're standing up for.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about all this? Now, despite all the crap I've just been talking, I remain an unapologetic Barrera fan. I think she's a wonderful performer, and I look forward to watching her career with great interest. So all that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that these things she just said were really ill-conceived and really, really stupid. Anyway, whatever you guys think about it, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.